Good morning, Rainmakers. Wednesday, the 21st of January. And today's podcast is really about discussing how, in this fast paced world that we live in at the moment, there's loads of distractions. So being present and fully immersed in the moment has become a sort of a rare and valuable skill. In this episode, we're sort of looking at exploring the importance of mindfulness, focus, whether you're spending time with your family, work, engaging in hobbies, or anything in everyday living. So we're really trying to understand how we can really truly connect with the people around us and embrace the tasks at hand and achieve greater satisfaction and results from the activity or the place that we're in, both on a personal life and a professional endeavors as well. Um, why would you say is that important? Well, because it just basically strengthens your relationships, enhances your productivity, and helps bring you to a more self-awareness, so that every moment that you live, you're basically able to sort of really understand um, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and really what you want to achieve from it. So, what's the value of being present? Um, why is it necessary? Shouldn't we just like be doing things, not worry about trying to be present, but just get out there and do stuff? Well, the issue is that, to give you an example for myself, I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do for the day? How am I going to do it? Now, I've set my routines. I've set my sort of agendas for the week and the day. I'm looking at my diary, and I'm now jumping from this to that to this to that to that to this. What am I going to wear? What am I going to do? So already you can see I'm not really present in that moment. Ideally, when you wake up in the morning, you should have a ritual where you wake up, thank the world for being alive, gratitude, um, only because of the fact that you've woken up, not being alive continuously, but you know what I mean. And really sort of just focus on the tasks at hand and be present. Even when you're brushing your teeth, be present. Brush your teeth, look in the mirror. Don't be thinking about, how do I look? What's happening? Brush your teeth. Be present brushing your teeth. And the reason why I tell you to be present, even just brushing your teeth and, making sure you clean your mouth properly and you focus on it, making sure that you floss properly, making sure that you use the right amount of toothpaste, making sure you wash your mouth out with mouthwash, is because by focusing and being present even on small tasks like that, that will help you to build up the muscle of being present. The other thing that you could do, just as a counter thing for brushing your teeth, is to use your left hand if you use your right hand most of the time, because of the fact that it has been scientifically proven that if you do the same thing all the time and have a routine, yes, it's okay, but to have the routine, and of course that gives you comfort, but at the same time, by disturbing the routine, by actually just doing one small little thing, by using the left hand, the brain then starts to work and re-sync the paths, and it sort of uses the muscle more, and hence it becomes more active and present and more sort of aware of things, because of the fact that now even thinking about brushing your left with your left hand, if you think about it, you will feel a sort of buzz in your head on the left hand side, which will sort of make you aware that you're doing something different. Back to being focused and present in the moment. It is important also, for example, when you're doing the activities, whether it be sports, golf, especially, to be present so that you can then clear your mind and play your shot, as all golfers know, and all top sportsmen in general. The difference of the 1% who are the greatest is the fact that they can control their mind and be present in their activity. Present doesn't mean that you are controlling your mind to be there and thinking about that particular task. Present is sort of being aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and then sort of letting go and believing and understanding that you are doing that activity. So, for example, me being present at this podcast, rather than sort of saying, okay, I'm going to read from a script, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go from here to here to here. Yes, maybe I've done all that in preparation, but when it actually comes to the activity and the event, I have to sort of let go and let my subconscious just do it, because then it will be more truthful and more authentic. Authenticity mentioned. So, sitting with your wife and son, eating dinner. If you are not present, and present in terms of, yes, most people think I'm eating dinner with my family, I am present here. Yes, you are present, but not present, in meaning, yes, you are there with the family, yes, you are eating food, you're giving yourself a pat on the back because you're a busy dad or mum, and basically, you know, you're there eating with them. Most people don't even eat with their family or have the opportunity to eat with their family, so you're giving yourself a pat on the back. However, are you really present, or are you thinking about work, or thinking about the football game that you're going to watch, or are you nagging your son about eating his beans, or are you sort of looking at the food and thinking it's not very nice, my wife could have cooked it better? Not in my case, because my wife's an excellent cook. And most of the time I'm just praising her for, you know, an outstanding restaurant caliber meal. Lucky me. But that it is important, because if you're not present, you may think you're present, but the people around you know that you're not present, especially children. And you know, if I'm being honest, ladies as well. Us men are sort of a bit Neanderthal, not our new age men that we're trying to be, but ultimately, you know, they feel your non-presence, they feel your um, brain or activity or energy in a different vibe. So they do feel that. They may not say anything because they totally understand from the lectures and the sort of society and what you've said, that, you know, you are under pressure, you are busy, and therefore, you know, it's sort of acceptable. But is it really acceptable? Because ultimately, you know, if you're going to be with your family and you're going to take the time and effort to sort of have dinner with them, you know, really spend some time with them, you know, to put that phone off the table, 15 minutes of your life to bond with your son and your family, to laugh, to joke, to have a funny moment, to talk about the school, talk about your activities, while sort of together as one, is a beautiful thing. And, you know, we don't appreciate that as much, and we take it for granted. And I think it's really important that you do sort of try and focus and cultivate that muscle of being present, so that therefore, when you are engaged and present at the same time, you're going to feel wonderful things and make people feel fantastic. And a scenario is sort of like with my dogs. I always tell people, if you could live a life like a dog, and be like a child, you'll be the perfect person. A child, in terms of the fact that they are always present and in the moment, just sort of being there, doing what they have to do, because I guess they don't have any worries about bills or schools, or everything's taken care for them. They can just, you know, live their life, be there. They just do what they want to do. Likewise, when they're watching TV, they are present watching TV, i.e., they're intoxicated on it. but that's because they're so present that they are sort of, wow, I'm watching TV. There's no distractions around TV. So maybe TV, it's not the TV that is drawing in the fact of the child being gobbled into the TV, but maybe it's because of the fact that they are so present in the moment that it looks like they're being gobbled in, but they are actually just focused on the activity, which is the TV, or whether it be playing football, or whether it be playing cards. I mean, how many times do you get annoyed with your son or father, or son or daughter, when basically they've now fallen in love with a particular cartoon or character, but they are fully immersed in it. They are present in it, and they are engaged in it, and they want this and that on it, and they play and do rhymes on it and everything. But ultimately, again, it shows how present they are, because of the fact that once they finish that, then they go on to something else. If you notice, they never really have, Star Wars, Lego, and cars all at the same time in their presentness, in terms of, oh, I love them all. It's a case of, they go through stages, and maybe we should learn from that. Just thinking out loud now from the podcast, that maybe they're focused on that. So they're into the Star Wars, but once they're not into the Star Wars and they're into the cars, they can't be into the cars and the Star Wars with the same presence and joy and immersion into that one activity, because the other activity as well would then sort of be battling against them. And you can see how in everyday life as adults, that's what we do. And then when we have that battle, then that causes the friction, the energy to go down, the sort of productivity to drop, and also the sort of focus not to be there, and the imbalance, I guess it would say, in your mind and body. Because if you sort of think about when you've been really successful and when you've done something, you've been singly minded, focused on it. So as entrepreneurs and real estate agents, who are really entrepreneurs in their own sense, in terms of the fact that they are present and running their own business. How this relates to work is that you've got to really focus on your sales. You've got to really focus on your tasks at hand. And like a kid, for example, or as I mentioned, you've got to really understand, if you're making sales calls, block out 45 minutes and be dedicated to making those calls at those times. So therefore, you're calling out. If you're doing feedback on viewings, make sure you get the feedback from your viewings. If you're going to view a property or speaking to a client and you're at their house and you've got the vendor there and they're basically telling you about their house, listen, look, learn, ask questions, really be with them in their family, joke around with them, make them at ease, make them present their house to you. I.e., where do you sit down in the evenings normally? What do you do on the weekends? Oh, this is a fantastic barbecue. When you have parties, where do you put the tables and stuff? Why is that important? Because all that information is basically coming back to you, which you can then use for your clients or prospective buyers. I.e., when you're selling them the dream of the house and the lifestyle, you have had first-hand information. So therefore, you know what you're saying is true for this particular house. It's not just a generic thing. Oh, it'd be nice to have a barbecue here. You can mention the number of people that have had there. You can say something like, for example, if you have found that from the, oh, they had their 50th birthday and 40 people were here. They had a band over here and everything. So now someone's thinking, oh, wow, I can have really nice parties here. Or I can have a kids venue here with the bouncy castle and all this kind of stuff. So now you're selling the lifestyle. How did you get that? Because you were basically immersed in the view, in the introduction with the owner. So you were present. You weren't thinking about your next viewing or looking at the clock or thinking this is just another same old flat. You were engaged with them and you were present with them. What does that also do in terms of understanding and getting your client? He appreciates that, the fact that you're listening to him. He appreciates the fact that you're selling his home, but also interested in his life and interested in his family and interested in him. So when it comes to then negotiating deals with them or introducing vendors or winning business, they're going to remember you from the crowd. not the guys who sort of came in all dancing and singing with their braces sort of thing, and give it all the talk. We do this, we do that, we're the best at this, we've sold down there, down there, down there, whatever. At the end of the day, if you are present and you are empathizing with your client, then that will resonate and you will do much, much more business. Now, how do you sort of be present? One of the ways of being present is learning to actually carry out or do meditation, doing yoga, and there are various books and items that can be used in order to really understand how to focus and be present at time. Because presence is, even though it's difficult to describe, presence is, for example, you're present in the moment in terms of you feel like you're in the flow, if that makes sense, like a sportsman when he is, in the zone, as they say. So you don't have to be in the zone all the time, because it is difficult to get in the zone, because it's like a Zen-like way of being. But if you're in a meeting, you need to be able to trigger that in order to be in the flow, to be present, and then come out of it. Even when you're not present to that highlighted activity in your brain, you need to still be present in your activity, even if you are doing activities which are admin-y as opposed to maybe interaction with people. You still need to be calm and present in order to get the best out of yourself. So in conclusion, it's important to be present in all aspects of life, whether it be personable or work-wise. This week, try to dedicate a few moments each day, really, to truly sort of focus on one task or interaction and see how it changes your perspective. So, for example, my mum and sister, sorry, are coming down from Sri Lanka today. My sister lives in Norway. They're coming to spend 3 days till Sunday. And what I've done for myself is I said to myself, right, what I'm going to do is I'm really going to be present with them. When I have work, I'm going to go do the work. I'm going to let them know when I do have work so that they know I'm working as well. But when I'm with them, I'm not going to try and be on my phone. I'm not going to try to answer emails or WhatsApp. I'm going to really interact with them, whether it just be shopping in the shops and asking them, whether they want a coffee, or, what clothes they're wearing, what looks nice and stuff. But just to be present with them, as opposed to what I would normally do is I would just walk around them in the shops. I would just, drive them around. I'd be present in terms of physically present, but I would be on my phone working, making calls and stuff. So I'm not saying I'm going to achieve that fully, because I have got work to do, but I'm really going to make an effort to try and make them feel special, because it's only for 3 days and I won't see them again. And I may not see them again for months. So why not sort of take advantage of that and learn? So that's going to be what I'm going to do. When you're fully present, you're not only living, but you're also thriving. And I'm going to end on that note.